table's full of parts again. So we've got the shocks for the Corolla finally turned up. They actually turned up, yeah, pretty much the day that, well, yesterday, yeah. And I knew that was going to happen, but I've got to machine the eyelets out because they're too small. So I'll machine them out so they fit the bottom spring plate, and then I'll set up the tops with the pins and that, and put these in, because it probably was a little bit soft last night with just shockers in it. Also got the full gasket set. Comes in handy with these little boards. I know it's to stop you folding them, but they actually come in handy for a to-do list. I usually use them for that. They come in pretty helpful for that. You saw the intake. Got some gasket sealer. Also, yeah, running lube. So that's the oil pump drive. It's a brand new one, because I have heard of old ones fatiguing over the years and then they do break. If that happens, show's over. Also, new pump. I'll probably pull it apart like I normally do, and if it does need opening up and rounding off, I'll do that. And I'll also check the slide, just so that, because sometimes the machine works pretty rough on these and the slide will actually get stuck. And I've had it with this where I'll start it, no oil pressure, pull the motor out, flick the relief, bang, sprung back into place, it had oil pressure again. And that's all it was. So I don't want to get caught out with that, so I'd basically do that any pump I've got now. And also fresh new rubber covers. Just the shiny chrome ones. I'll probably just coat them with something so they don't go shitty, and I know that they'd probably end up like my hubcaps. They'll go rusty in 5 minutes, so I will try and coat them with something. And yeah, it's just tidy it up. If I'm building a motor, I'm not going to put shit back on it. I'm going to make it look nice. Picked up a few more bits last night. My mate Mick Cleary helped me out. Blasted a heap of stuff for me. So all my F100 stuff. There's a couple of bits for the tow truck. A couple of hinges and stuff for that. Just saves me trashing my fingers again, trying to sand it. Also got the old man's ramps off his trailer done. They're just going a bit rusty and we need to weld some new straps on it, so help us out there. Also gave the bonnet a hit, just inside where it's mainly the hard part to clean up. It's actually really good in under the front there, which is usually where they go, and also at the back at the bottom there. So pretty happy with that. The only thing is this thing's fucking topped at this side. So I've got a bit of work to do there, but I'll just pull it out, hammer it around and try and make it work. Also extractors are done. He did them for me. They're a little bit sort of brown just because I picked it up last night and it was starting to rain. So they probably got a little bit wet. And I'm going to coat these now and then put the high temp black on them. Letting it sort of cure for a while. Yeah, they've come up not too bad. Seeing that they were just crusty, old brown extractors when I started with it. So these should be pretty good for the tow truck. And hopefully the paint doesn't fall off. The new project that we're doing now, not another car. It's kind of already what we've already got. But yeah, the next stage, the next build, which is tow truck engine. So it's a 351 Clevo 2V. It's an F100 motor, and the way you tell that is engine numbers are usually here in front of the passenger side head, depending on where it is. Australian motors are usually here. This one's got ALI or AL1, means it's F100 usually. If it was a Falcon engine, it'd be JG most likely, or JH in some instances, but most of the time it's JG. So if you're ever looking for a Falcon engine, always check the numbers. If it's JG, you know it's Falcon. Also, all the other numbers also mean sort of what model, like if it's a Fairmont or it's an XLT or it's this or that. And also this one's got a K at the end. Usually K on Cleveland's is 2V, 351. So it's a 351 2V. I was already told that it was, and it's meant to be out of an ambulance, but I'm not 100% sure. It is early model, so it should most likely be, but anyway, when I pull it apart, I'll soon find out. What I'm going to do is degrease it, give it a clean up because there's just shit everywhere. Get all the oily mess off it, especially when I pull it apart. You don't want all that shit falling in. Once I degrease it, pressure wash it, I'll start ripping stuff off. So take all the alternator off, coil, all that sort of shit, and get it down to its bare bones. Got it mostly done, scrubbed it with just an old, scrub and brush that you probably do your dishes with. Probably wouldn't use that one though. And then went to blow it down, and I bought tyre pump and air nozzle as a kit, and it was just a cheap kit. Anyway, the air nozzle's a nugget, but it's probably why you saw me with the underbody gun. It's not because I've lost the plot, but it works as an air blower as well. But it's fairly clean. Probably a little bit of gunk in small areas, but nothing really too bad compared to what it was. It's cleaned up pretty well actually, I'm pretty happy with it. Sump and everything. I'm actually surprised at the sump. Rarely will you get a Cleveland, especially in an F-truck, with the sump that's not smashed in or big dents and shit in it. This thing is pretty good. Looks like it's been fiddled with a little bit, like the intake's got silicone around the intake and so that sort of stuff. Plus different leads, but that's just normal conventional shit. But yeah, a motor like this, any old motor really, is kind of like getting one of those surprise boxes off Wish. You're either going to get a heap of shit or you're going to get some fucking good stuff, and I'm kind of hoping for the second one, but it's a matter of wait and see. But I'll start stripping everything off now. I ended up just quickly pulling the dizzy out just because I felt like it. Saw a couple of colours I weren't happy with. Anyway, that's what we got. Yeah, didn't think I was going to be that lucky, but anyway, it's probably not too bad. I am pulling the heads off. Well, I say that, but it might be completely rooted. But I am pulling the heads off. giving them a good clean up. And a lot of this shit is sort of just wiping off. It's not sort of pitted rust. So it probably hasn't been sitting there too long, but this is why any engine you get, unless you see it running in a car and it's happy, have a look. You'd imagine firing this thing up with oil, that would have just flushed through everything and fucked the whole show. So I've got the oil dumping out now. I don't really want to go to bed and be fucking wondering what the hell is going on with the bottom end. So what I'm going to do is dump that out, pull the sump off it, and hope and pray that it's alright. Like the cam, you probably can't see it, but down in there the cam looks like it's got a bit of colour on it. Like the wrong colour. I'm not too worried about the camshaft because it's getting swapped out, but I'm hoping that the rest of the motor isn't like that. Otherwise, fuck yeah, we're up for the full job, which I was hoping not. I was hoping just keep the bottom end together, clean up what I could, put the new oil pump on it, clean up the heads, bolt them back on, new push rods, rocket, well not rocket gear, but valve springs, cam, all that, bolt it back together, but it's starting to look like it's a shit show. That's just me building cars, I reckon. So I ripped the intake off. Shit's not well, the mice have been in there. It actually doesn't look too bad near though. There's a couple of small bits, but main of it sort of up the back there. But hopefully I can flush it all out and it'll be okay. But she's not looking good. This knot's definitely blown out. It's all looking not too bad. Pretty carboned up in the bores, but the bores look pretty good. It's only one. Rotate him over. And yeah, rotates really nice. Probably that bore there, a little bit coloured. I reckon that the head gasket might have been a bit ordinary there. There is a bit of sort of piston scuff, so it probably has done a bit of work since it was done, but all in all it's looking pretty good. Also, I was sort of thinking this sort of year of engine would have closed chamber heads, and I was right. So I thought it might have had the 4MA crank in it as well with the closed chambers, and yeah, it's all adding up pretty well. So it's all original, nothing's really been changed, I don't think. The valves look not too bad. This one's probably copped it the most. That's what's sort of leading me to reckon that, yeah, it's had a bit of water or coolant in there. The other head, pretty good. So, matter of just clean it all up, get all this rusty, scaly shit out. Do the springs. I've got new valve stem seals, springs, retainers, collets, all ready to go. They just got to turn up. But yeah, all in all, it's looking pretty well. The only thing I haven't done is taken a cap off yet. I've got to decide if I'm going to do that or not. And that's just to check if it's ran out of oil or anything. This motor is looking pretty good. So it should be a good base for what I want to do. And yeah, clean the heads up, get them back on and the camshaft in and all that sort of stuff. And we should have one solid motor for a tow truck.